Oh yeah, it's the weekend, and you know what that means. It's time for Pixels and Bits on the Overshield.com with your hosts, Cory, Manny, and Tommy. And now, broadcasting from planet Earth, it's time for Pixels and Bits. Welcome to Pixels and Bits on the Overshield.com. My name is Cory. Hi, welcome to episode 75 of Pixels and Bits on the Overshield.com on our YouTube channel. My name is Cory, and I'm your host as always, and I am joined by my co-host, Manny. Say hi, Manny.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Andrew is not here because he is trapped with his family. Literally, they're in a box together. And Tommy, well, last I heard, he was being dragged to Croatia with his family.
Oh.
Something like that.
I don't know who's got it worse.
Yeah, I know. I mean, being trapped in a box or being trapped in a metal tube on your way to Croatia? A flying metal tube.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, as it is just us, it's now the Cory and Manny show. Alright. Manny, you ready to head into the news desk?
Mm-hmm.
Hit the music!
Delay.
Alright, so let's get a little PSA out there. Since Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming out for PS4 and Xbox One and PC is January. But coming out for Xbox One and PS4 next month. If you get an email saying, hey, join the Grand Theft Auto 5 beta, don't click on it, because it's a phishing scam. So, and this is a public address from Rockstar. Please note, there is no pre-release beta test for Grand Theft Auto 5. If you see ads or solicitation to join a beta program, beware, as this is likely some type of online phishing scam. And no, you don't have a relative in Nigeria who is a crown prince.
But you would hope that people would, wonder, that's odd, it's a beta program, and yet it's not being advertised on the PSN network or, something like it.
Or anything? Yeah.
But then they're like, oh, that's why it's all beta and secret, and only I got it.
Only a select handful. It's like the SAO beta. Only 1,000, no more. Yes. Alright, now, Tommy really should have been here because his dream of all dream conventions was announced tonight.
Ooh, a brony convention?
A Halo convention. There's already like 50 brony cons, so.
Yeah.
But yes, there is going to be a Halo Con.
It's a Halo Brony Con.
Yes, it is called Halo Fest.
It's called Bralo Fest.
Okay, now here's the interesting thing. It's happening this year in 2 weeks.
Wow. Where at?
In Los Angeles, California. Tommy, buy your ticket.
Oh, yeah, dude. Do some coverage for the Overshield.
Seriously, man. We're named after fucking Halo. Go, man.
But that'd be so cool if you did do some coverage. I would be proud.
Tommy, I would give you a medal and your plasma pistol that I owe you.
Well, it's not just Tommy. Andrew could get in on some of that, too, because he's out there, isn't he?
He doesn't live in the Los Angeles area. Like, you know how there's like Los Angeles and there's like the metro area that goes out with like all the suburbs, and then there's the mountains and then a desert.
And then there's Andrew.
And then Andrew lives in the desert. He lives where Trevor lives. This is his words, folks. If I'm offending anybody who lives in Bloomington, go attack Andrew for saying it. Now, let's talk about Nintendo and their upcoming release, Super Smash Brothers!
For the Wii U's.
Yes, and if you got it for the 3DS, I'm sorry that you have arthritis already.
Have you picked it up yet for the 3DS?
No, I'm waiting for the Wii U version.
Of course.
There's literally so many games coming out right now. I have to be very, very picky about what I choose.
Well, they call it Broketober for a reason.
Yeah, I bought my first game in a month today, and it was on Steam. And it's because I've been waiting for it for months, and that was the new Civilization.
Ah, nice.
Which, by the way, it's fun. I love it.
Oh, really?
Even though I'm only 3 hours into it. But DLC characters have been announced for Super Smash Brothers.
You mean more clones?
No. I mean legitimate new characters, as in Mewtwo!
Oh, really? They brought him back from the GameCube?
Yes, Mewtwo. Mewtwo. You too can play Mewtwo.
Yeah. Bono, the leader of U2. Yeah.
Yes. U2 and U2 is just Bono.
Yeah, and the drummer.
Just Bono with Mewtwo's powers.
Yeah.
Anyways, U2 is coming to Super Smash Bros. As DLC for 3DS and Wii U. And this is coming from a Nintendo tweet. Warning! Mewtwo arrives in spring 2015. Register both versions in a promotional period and get him for free.
If he's anything like the GameCube version, it's not a really big deal.
Yeah.
He was kind of slow.
There's people I know that are like super crazy for like the melee characters.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Mewtwo. I never really got into Mewtwo all that much.
Me neither.
I liked Lucario way better. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, now we're going to talk about the bloodiest fighter series ever, Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
And Warner Brothers has announced that they are doing a new live-action Mortal Kombat series.
Ooh.
I have to say, it seems Warner Brothers is investing serious dough into fictional movies now.
Yeah.
Or not just like video games and comic books. Like, because they showed off the DC lineup, which I was seriously impressed with, especially the fact that there's going to be a fucking Aquaman movie. The fact that it even got greenlight makes me happy. I mean, seriously, Aquaman deserves a movie. He is badass. The guy killed fucking Cyborg in Flashpoint, man. Ripped him apart.
Oh, yeah?
No, he literally tore his arms off and then began ripping his chest apart.
Jeez.
While Cyborg was still alive. Yeah. It's just like, it's like the most brutal way for a hero to kill another hero. It was like Mortal Kombat style. Back to the story. That was a good come around. Now, the series will tie into the new Mortal Kombat X, or 10. I don't even know what it's pronounced. I think it's Mortal Kombat 10. But I don't know anymore, because it's the 10th Mortal Kombat game, but it's just Mortal Kombat X.
Right.
Warner Brothers, please clear up your marketing. That could be a serious issue when it comes to pre-order day and save many GameStop employees many headaches. Seriously. But it is coming, like the previous Mortal Kombat series, Mortal Kombat Legacy, to digital platforms. Now, it'll be coming... It says right around the time a Mortal Kombat X was released, but that's not entirely that's like the hoped release date. You know what I mean? It's like when you see like a game developer trying to make a game tie-in with a movie. It's like, we hope to release it before or during the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get some games that come out like 4 months later.
And then you
Anyways.
have games like Defiance that it didn't matter if it came out in time; it just sucked.
No, it didn't even. No, it sucked. And is the show even still going?
I don't know, man.
I think it'd be hilarious if the MMO outlives the show.
Yeah. I think like after 2 weeks of that, people were like, "No, I'll just go back to Falling Skies, thank you."
I think everybody just went back to it because they saw like the slightly like constructed St. Louis Arch and aliens, and they're like, "Oh, that looks cool." Anyways, now let's talk about the glorious PC Master Gaming Race leader, Gabe Newell. Oh, bless the holy Gabe Newell. Oh. Now, last week, an indie developer called out Gabe Newell for basically the way that his game was portrayed on Steam. And all right, so I'll read it out to you. Okay, this because this whole story is complete brilliance. He was upset with the way that Valve handled his game. The game was mistakenly listed as an early access title, and it was a mistake that he said that the coder, his name was Malbec, and he said he's like, I would take money out of his pocket by confusing potential buyers by listing it this way. He also accused Valve of forcing him to delay the game because it couldn't be released on a weekend. He then ended his Twitter rant with the words that, well, rang around the internet for some time. I am going to kill Gabe Newell. He is going to die. And shortly thereafter, Valve contacted him via email to tell him that the company had ceased relations with him, his Steam admin account was removed, and his game was removed as well.
Not to mention there would be some legal repercussions.
And here's the sad thing. His game only sold 12 copies.
Ooh, yeah.
And because of this, he has announced that he is quitting gaming.
That's a bit drastic.
As a result of my actions, Paranautical Activity, a game made by 4 or 5 people depending on who you count as team members, that's iffy that by itself right there, was removed from Steam. I feel it is my responsibility to step down from Code Avarice completely so that Steam has no reason to harbor any more ill will towards the company. And even if we can't see Paranautical Activity restored, at least future Code Avarice games may be allowed onto the platform. So basically what happened was him and his buddies called him into the room and said, dude, you fucked up, get out.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the end of that. So, lesson of the week. Do not threaten God.
That and don't nerd rage, man.
Exactly. Because you never know what might happen. You might get banned from Steam.
You'll get the you'll get the hammer from Gabe Newell.
You get the Gabe hammer.
You have the Gabe hammer.
Now, Manny, I have some very juicy news for you.
Ooh, juicy as in like Kansas City barbecue juicy?
Yes.
Ooh.
Like Popeye's chicken juicy.
Oh, it's finger looking good. Oh, this should be promising.
Manny, I know you're a fan of Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn.
Oh, yeah? Yeah?
So, a few days ago, Square Enix teased the new expansion, Final Fantasy XIV: Heavensward.
Ooh, do tell more.
The expansion will take place in the city-state of Ishgard, will feature a new race, new jobs, new primals, new high-end content, and the level cap will be raised to 60. And more information will be revealed tomorrow.
Whoa, that's huge.
Yep. Damn it, just as I got back into World of Warcraft.
I know. I don't know, man. I just really wish they'd quit those monthly
That's right,
fees.
just prepaid for the new expansion. Fuck.
Yeah.
Manny, I can't do two MMOs at once. Help me here.
They have special counseling for that in South Korea, Cory.
Or you just do what they do. Just play for 80 hours straight.
Yeah, just pee in your pants.
Just where it depends.
Yeah,
You'll
pretty
be fine.
much. And don't eat, whatever you do.
The expansion is scheduled to release in spring of next year. So we do have a little bit to wait, but it'll be good. And final story, because this was kind of shocking, yet not shocking. I'm not surprised who did it, but I'm surprised that they're even still doing it. And that is Google is making a set-top box and game console.
Does it mention what it will be called?
It's called the Nexus Player. And it's being developed by Asus.
Okay.
The device is shaped like a black cylinder, comes with a voice search enabled remote control, and it also comes with a gaming controller for an extra $40. The game controller, it looks exactly like the Wii U controller. It's just that somebody flipped where the sticks are with the buttons. It literally looks like someone took the Xbox 360's controller design and then just put PlayStation's button layout on it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but that's the most unimaginative controller I can ever think of. Let's steal everybody else's ideas.
Right.
We don't need to come up with our own.
Or Google.
Why be like Valve?
Yeah.
So, users will be able to navigate through the player with a specially designed Android TV interface, and new apps and games can be downloaded through the Google Play App Store. The device comes with an Intel Atom quad-core 1.8 GHz processor and supports high definition with an HDMI output at a full 1080p with 60 Hz per second. It also supports Imagination Power VR Series 6 graphics 2D 3D engine. I don't know what the hell that is. And it is one of the first devices to run Android Lollipop. That's the newest name of their operating system? Lollipop?
Lollipop.
Are they running out of ideas, or is like the person in charge of the names like a fucking 5-year-old?
The next one is Twilight Sparkle.
By the way, it only sports 8 GB of storage, so you may have to get a little creative with your downloads.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't even get why they're honestly doing this, because I feel like this market is so freaking sealed tight that it can't work. Or in that, well, I wouldn't even say that it's sealed tight. It's just that like there's already this very big established base, such as like Amazon, and the Roku boxes. The Steam machines are coming out. Now there's PlayStation TV, and I'm starting to question whether or not it's actually even a viable market anymore with so many competitors.
I don't know. Someone up there has a wild hair.
I mean, it doesn't appeal to me. Obviously, there has to be a market for it, but I don't see this surviving with all the established brands that they're on. Especially for Android or Roku, because they do it so well right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, apparently Google thinks it can do it just as well, if not better. So.
Yeah. I mean, I could see this. I think this would work a lot better if they just did a Chromecast, but that had it like some sort of like SD card or like micro SD card slot in the Chromecast thing for storage, and you can store things to it. You can already use remotes with the Chromecast thing. So any IR receiver works. So you could use the game controller or this voice-enabled remote. So I just don't see why not have a modified Chromecast instead of having to do a set-top box.
Really don't know on that one, Cory.
I don't know. It seems like it was needlessly invented for something that's already there that they already own.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way. It's Google, so if it tanks, it's not exactly going to be the end of the world.
I wonder if it tanks if Tomas will lose his job there. Which, if you're losing, the context of that is, I had a roommate. His name was Tomas. He graduated with like 3 degrees or something like that, and now he works for fucking Google.
Yeah.
So the moral of the story is, the more degrees you have, the more money you make.
Oh no, remember, Cory, the moral of the story is don't give Tomas $20 for groceries, otherwise he'll come back with sardines and Earl Grey tea.
That's what I get for trusting an introverted Slovakian with money for groceries.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. That is the end of the news desk, and it's time to move on to the middle segment. And the middle segment is a very interesting topic because last week a game debuted its gameplay trailer, and it was called Hatred. Now, I always get annoyed watching like mainstream media because they always depict video games as like these murder simulators or sex simulators. In case of Mass Effect, you can bone any alien.
Because who wouldn't?
Exactly. And like, well, I think what's hilarious is they made it like that was the whole fucking point of the game.
Yeah.
The whole point of the game, the whole $60 is just to bone alien chicks.
Just choose
or
the
guys.
right. Yeah, just choose the right dialogue.
But this game, Hatred, is literally, and I mean literally, a murder simulator. It is. I guess it's I don't want to compare it to Postal, but yeah, it's a modern day Postal game.
Dude, to me, when I first saw it tonight, it reminded me of like an FPS teamed up with like Mortal Kombat. I was like, holy cow.
Well, hold on. Well, I think comparing it to Postal isn't fair, because Postal wasn't as dark and grim and I'm sorry, just as outrageous as this, because like Postal, you could still have like there was still a little bit of humor in it. Like you could pee on a guy and light him on fire with your piss.
Jeez,
don't know how that works, but
that's a bit brutal there.
I'm not a chemist, but I don't know how that works. I mean, the guy must have been drinking constantly for that to work, but
there's some high levels of acidity in that urine.
So, but like this game Hatred is literally just nothing but a grim murder simulator where your goal is just to kill innocent people and police. It's just your objective is to go on a murder spree because you hate the world. It's just
that, and the big deal is it's so graphic.
It's literally such an FU to the common misconception of games that it's almost hilarious, but it's uncomfortably hilarious.
Yeah.
So my question is what? Because then I say it's hilarious, but uncomfortably hilarious. What is that moral ceiling to where it starts to feel uncomfortable as a game? What is what we can as society can push as a game, and it won't offend everybody?
Well, that's kind of a tough question.
I mean, I thought Grand Theft Auto 5 pushed it, but
yeah, especially with the interrogation scene.
Yeah, I thought that was brutal. But goddamn, hates it. I mean, this game is literally getting such bad press that even Epic, because the game is being made with the Unreal Engine, has said, we don't like this. We're not involved with this in any way. Please don't think that we're with this. I think they're even trying to ask. They even asked the developer to remove the Unreal logo and Epic's logo from it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like we don't want to be associated with this.
I think the most graphic part out of the trailer was when they show like the character putting a gun to like a woman's mouth, and she's like, "Please don't!" and then it blows her face out. I'm like, that is a huge problem.
Or it's
right
like
there.
Constantly stabbing a guy in the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna have several like political and religious groups coming after you now.
Dude, like, like Fox News is like licking their chaps at this.
Oh
man.
my gosh!
Not their chaps. I mean chops.
Lord. Oh god. Their assless chaps.
I imagine they keep a pair. I mean, that's. Oh God, no. I think to me, I think the for me, my absolute limit when it comes to morality wise is number one, and I think we can all agree on this one: no rape, ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Even when I watched The Watchmen, and that was even like hinted at or like even almost shown, that made me feel uncomfortable. Just that premise of it. So like the idea of rape, no. In games, nope. Never touching ever. Any game that touches it is taboo, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Now, are we talking about morality as a whole in gaming, or like just violence in gaming?
Like, or like, what can we push? Like, what would be this? What would be the thing that would push you personally that like I could never support that game or anybody even playing it?
Right.
And then for me, when it comes to violence, like it's not the violence of hatred that threw me, that makes me hate it. It's your goal with the violence. Your goal just to kill random people. Like, even when Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, when they had the scene where you shoot people in the airport, as brutal and uncomfortable and unnerving as it was, there was a goal to why you were shooting the people in the airport. I hate, man, that's just weird to say. But the point is that you were terrorizing. It was a plot point. That was the whole point of it. This is just mindless murder of innocent people. Now, you could say, well, what about Grand Theft Auto? Grand Theft Auto gives you the option to do it, but it doesn't tell you to do it.
Yeah, that's not the focus of the game.
Exactly. So, like, it's not having the option, but it's being forced to do it. It's when a game forces you into an uncomfortable position, and then keeps you there, that I do not like. And if that game's whole premise is about making you feel uncomfortable, then I think you did your game wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's like a, I mean, I guess there would be, I want to say there may be Alien Isolation, since I touched that game a little bit and I was completely uncomfortable the whole time. But that's just because it was scary as shit. I wasn't unnerved at what I was doing. I was unnerved by what was chasing me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for me, the moral line is when the player feels uncomfortable with what the game is telling them or forcing them to do or participate in. What about you, Manny?
I don't know. Like, for me, I'm almost kind of like, well, I'm like, it's a video game. Like you kind of define your morality outside of the game. So, I mean, yeah, I definitely think there needs to be some kind of, limitations and standards. I mean, after all, that is why we have the, ERSB and things of that nature. But
because Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, I think that was probably the first and most graphic game I remember playing as a kid.
I think for me it was Doom.
Oh yeah.
Or Turok the Dinosaur Hunter was another one.
But yeah, in terms of morality in that, and right now my head is so focused on violence, I'm like almost overlooking other things like religion and stuff like of that nature.
Religion, I don't care how it's really depicted unless you're deliberately going out of your way to like, I don't know, like a game where like your whole point is to kill Muhammad or something like that. Then, you know what, I'm sorry, but there is no point to that game. You're just making that game to be a fucking target.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think if I ever really felt uncomfortable playing a game. I think the first time I saw like actual like tits or boobs in a video game, it's like whoa, like this is some R-rated
Was it because
material.
was it whoa because there was tits, or was it whoa because that doesn't exactly look like tits?
I think it was whoa, as in oh wait a second, I'm the only one in the room right now, right? Like that kind of thing. Because let's face it.
It was the I hope my parents aren't looking at this.
Yeah. I mean, let's all be honest. When we played Witcher for the first time and you got into the prostitute scene, it's like, whoa, like this is really happening. So, yeah. I mean,
I remember one time I was playing Witcher 2, and it was the very beginning sequence where you wake up in your tent or whatever. It was like for the first story mission where you wake up in your tent and there's the chick that you boned the night before right next to you, and she gets up and her tits are hanging out, and I'm like, oh, okay. And right as that moment, my little brother walks in. Hey, Cory. Hey. Never mind.
what a sight for Justin.
Yeah.
No, I think for me the violence, it's kind of like, well, it's all about the animation and your imagination and where you put it. I think for me, what's really kind of disturbing, I guess, is like, for example, nudity or like extreme nudity, like Dante's Inferno, when you do the lust level and there's like literally penises being thrown at you like every corner and like vaginas.
Have you played the game Rust?
Yeah, yeah.
How everybody spawns as naked guys and they're just dicks dangling everywhere.
I know.
And of course, is that they have their own physics.
Yes. But yeah, I think that was like, that made me super uncomfortable. Like, okay, I'm definitely playing this alone. Like, even with my friends, I'd be like, you want to skip the lust level?
No. Well, it's like you said, sexuality in games doesn't make me feel uncomfortable with myself. It makes me feel uncomfortable about my environment.
Exactly. Yeah. Which I guess some people would say, well, that's directed back to you, but
it's one of the reasons why I will not play Bayonetta with my parents around.
Oh, really? Bayonetta's like that?
Well, but it's not that. It's just that the way the character portrays herself and how she's overly sexually dancing and like doing like very S&M like punishing moves and shit like that, and her going like shit like that.
Yeah,
It's like if I had it on speaker, it would be very awkward.
And how appropriate you mentioned that, Cory, with the recent release of it on the Wii U.
I am really thinking about buying it this weekend.
Do it.
I know. Priorities,
Yeah?
as you say.
Yeah. Food on the table or games in the console? It's one or the other.
Well, I think I can live a couple days without food, so...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it'll be painful, but I'm sure there's some tasty squirrels I can find in the backyard.
Yeah, Boo will find him for you.
He has yet to catch a single one. He's caught birds, he's caught mice, he's caught groundhogs, he's caught even fucking fish, but can't catch a goddamn squirrel.
Yeah.
I have a useless hunting dog. Not really. I love him. Anyways, that is the end of the middle segment. And it is time to move on to shoutouts because Tommy's not here to do people doing stupid shit. Yell at him in the comments section for not being here.
Oh, we miss you, Tommy. And Andrew.
We miss you, Tommy. So, my shoutout has to go to Mr. Sid Meier for making Beyond Earth, because from what I've played so far, I am very impressed. It has a very Civilization feel. It has that strategy feel to it, but I love everything that they've done with making it not feel like a Civ game, having to deal with the aliens, the tech tree, the affinity systems, the quest system, the new way to do spies and everything. I love it. So thank you, Mr. Sid Meier.
You know, that's ironic you mentioned that. I literally just watched Pro Jared's review of that today, of that game. And
Yeah.
he had a lot of good things to say about it, too. So I was curious what it was about and how it could stacked up to the Civilization series. And some people thought it would just be like a clone of it in space.
Yeah, no, and I'm actually really happy that they used the Civ 5 engine because it's been pretty optimized already with a lot of drivers. So I'm assuming that running Beyond Earth would work fine with most video cards.
Ooh, that's good.
I mean, my only regret is I wish it was published on something other than PC. I mean, PS4 does mouse and keyboard support, Sid Meier. Come on.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, Manny, what's your shout out?
My shout out, man, that's a difficult one, man. I guess my shout out would go to looking forward to future games that I know are heading my way, specifically Dragon Age 3 Inquisition. So I guess shout out to BioWare for working on that.
No, I'm looking forward to Dragon Age as well.
Yeah, in fact, I'm replaying Origins right now just so I can recall what all the story was about and who the characters were.
There's really only like 4 games. No, yeah. The only games I plan on picking up from the November releases for PS4 are Far Cry.
Oh, you are thinking of picking up Far Cry?
Oh, I loved Far Cry 3, so like Far Cry 4 is pretty much sold for me.
Really?
Oh yeah. I mean, the fact that they're doing the mountains, I'm happy with, especially when they did the wingsuit in 3, but there wasn't a lot of places to get very high up, so it made it difficult to use.
Oh, okay.
And then, what was it? Maybe Assassin's Creed Unity. I'll wait for reviews.
Uh-huh.
Project Cars, yes, because I am a diehard racing fan. When it comes to like racing simulators like Forza, and then Smash Brothers.
Smash.
I have to get Smash Brothers. I would say Warlords of Draenor, but I already bought it, so I'm just waiting for it to come out.
Oh wow, you decided to pick that one up too, huh?
Well, yeah, I already pre-purchased it, so. And by pre-purchasing it, but if you pre-purchase it, they're like, "Hey, here's a boost to boost one of your characters to level 90." I'm like, "Sweet!" So I created a new class I've never done before. No, level 90. Haha! Look at all the work I did.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that gameplay. It kind of reminded me of Dark Souls, but a lot easier, of course.
What, Warcraft?
No, the Warlords game you're talking about?
Warlords of Draenor is Warcraft.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different game altogether. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I love World of Warcraft. I've been playing for a decade, so it's kind of hard to stop an addiction. Give me more!
I'm thinking of, I think it's called like the Warlords or something. Warlords of something. It's a PS4 title.
Oh.
Yeah, but it definitely looked like an easier version of like Dark Souls or Demon Souls.
Alright.
Anyways.
Well, Manny, I think it's time to wrap up episode 75 of Pixels and Bits on the Overshield.com. My name is Cory.
And I'm Manny.
And we'll see you all next week, folks. Bye-bye.
Good night.